Hey everybody, Chris Raygun here. Today we're going to be doing a response video to reasonable questions for Anti-SJWs, a video by Kristi Winters and company. Now if you've seen TJ's video, if you've seen June's video, you've pretty much got all my answers already, but at the same time, everybody else kind of went the straight route. They were kind of like, I'm going to be nice and answer your questions. Because everybody else did that, I feel like I have license to make this more of a joke. So let's get started, huh?
Are you able to understand the irony of responding to the perceived political correctness of the left with exasperated reactionary hypersensitivity of your own?
No, because when I have hyperbolic reactions to things I dislike, it's in front of a camera for the amusement of my audience. People like Trigglypuff, that feminist that did that super Street Fighter spin kick against that abortion sign, all these hyperbolic reactions that we capture in feminists in the street they're not comparable at all. They're not reacting that way for their audience. They're not reacting that way because it's amusing someone. They're acting that way because they're spoiled children who don't know how to react to anything stressful in a public situation.
What is it with you people and skulls?
I don't know, what is it with you people trying to get people fired from their jobs for thinking differently than you? What's up with you guys in that?
How do you define right-wing? Anti-SJWs often have an aversion to being labeled as right-wing, yet they regularly defend the right and bash the left. Therefore, why is being labeled right-wing a bad thing to you? And if it's because right-wing is used as a pejorative, can you not see how labeling people as SJWs or regressives is also pejorative?
I don't think right-wing is a pejorative, it's just not accurate. I'm not right-wing at all. I'm very, very liberal on most things. The reason I bash the left is because I'm part of the left, and it bugs me to see something that I was once part of, or still kind of technically am, acting so fucking stupid. It's pretty fucking simple. I don't like being called right-wing because it's not true. It's called a lie, you know, a falsehood. I know you guys are really, really into those things, but it's inaccurate. So yeah, we're not gonna like being called right-wing. Some of us are, I'm sure, but the majority of the big ones, people like Shu, people like TJ, they are liberal. They are left-leaning. And I've never seen any of us defend the right. It's more like when the left points out something about the right that they themselves do, yeah, I'll point that out. I'll be like, hey, that's super hypocritical of you to say that.
Rather than telling people you disagree with to drink bleach, wouldn't it be more productive for you to have an actual conversation about the issues you feel matter? Or is it just easier to do the bleach thing?
Ah, you've mentioned the drink bleach thing. You fucking idiot. First of all, I'm really the only person in the anti-SJW community who's ever used the drink bleach joke. I think Anthony Fantano used it, like, briefly once. But even in both of those contexts, me and Anthony were talking about wanting to drink bleach ourselves because we'd rather die than listen to the stupid fucking arguments that we're being presented with.
Fuck you. Kill yourself. Fuck it.
It's not me telling you to drink bleach because you disagree. It's literally the exact opposite.
You claim to be proponents of rational, logical, evidence-based argumentation. That's great. That's entirely laudable.
I like this guy a lot because his accent is great. Let me just try and impersonate him real quick. That's great. That's entirely laudable. I think I'm getting pretty good at that accent.
But when I look at your online activity, when I look at, I don't know, for example, your Twitter feed, that's often not what I see. How do you reconcile this claim to be evidence-based and rational and logical against stuff like, oh, I was just trolling you, oh, I was just shitposting?
It appears that Atlas here has a problem that people who claim to be fact-based and evidence-based in their arguments like to shitpost on Twitter. I mean, it's Twitter. It's fun to shitpost. Like, what exactly precludes one from being an evidence-based thinker just because they troll people on Twitter or do anything? It's just a fucking Twitter. Like, am I not reasonable because I play video games? Because playing video games has nothing to do with argument-based or fact-based argumentation. I don't understand the fucking connection here.
No, seriously? What is it with you people and skulls?
Again, I don't know, what is it with you people and literally blocking everybody who disagrees with you even before you've even had contact with those people? That seems to be something you fucking all do instead of just two of us.
Are you aware that the ridiculous buzzwords you helped to popularize, like SJW and cuck and regressive, have all lost whatever meaning they once had and only serve now as catch-all insults and pejoratives to derail any meaningful conversation?
Wow, you're fucking retarded. See, here's the problem with that argument, if you could even call it an argument. Cuck, regressive, social justice warrior, those are pejoratives. I don't think you got that the first time around. They are pejoratives. That's the whole fucking point of them. Saying they lost whatever meaning they had is hilarious. They're meant to be catch-all insults. That's their entire purpose. The words that you helped to devalue are things like rape, things like sexual assault, things like feminism, things like fucking activism. These are things that actually mattered once that now have no meaning because you've erased them. Things like sexism, racism, you've devalued those to the fucking max, dude. And those are things that actually matter. Cuck, SJW, regressive, those were insults from the fucking get-go.
For the last time, what is it with you people and committing actual literal felonies?
I don't know why you brought up the Ralph retort like that was some kind of trump card that you had. The Ralph retort, nobody cares about the Ralph retort. I don't remember ever once having a conversation with the Ralph retort. I don't remember once knowing anybody who was too kind with the Ralph retort. The Ralph retort's kind of a fucking joke. The fact that you brought him up as like this big trump card is fucking funny because it's like, yeah, I agree with you, dude. Guy's a fucking retard.
In videos and in the comment sections, anti-feminists often take up the most extreme or the weakest feminist position they can find, or they just straight up misrepresent what the feminist position is. Instead, why not take up the strongest, most robust feminist argument you can find and really challenge yourself?
See, here's the thing about extreme things. Extreme things are fun to watch. Extreme things are amusing. When I exaggerate my hand movements like this, it's intrinsically more interesting than if I wasn't fucking doing that. If I looked for a really serious academic paper on feminism, right, and I tried to debunk it, I could. It's not fucking hard. The question is, in my mind, when I'm making a video on something, is this fun to watch? Is this funny? Is this amusing? If it's not, then I'm not going to put the video out. So, Kristi, it's not because we haven't challenged ourselves. We've seen all the bullshit. We've seen the strongest arguments you have. It just so happens to be that the strongest arguments you have don't make for very entertaining videos because we could just point out the fucking facts and say, hey, you're wrong. Plenty of people have done this. Teal Deer does a great job of this. If you want some actual content that actually goes after, like, serious academics, but we are entertainment-based channels. We entertain. That's the whole fucking point.
I am deeply concerned with male addiction rates, suicide rates, and abuse rates, because I have worked with these issues in the quote-unquote real world. Would you be willing as anti-feminists to put aside your differences with feminists for the greater good of addressing these issues?
I'd be willing to have a conversation, but the thing is, I'm not an academic. Again, I'm just somebody who makes comedy videos on the internet. I'm not exactly the best person to be talking about this shit with. But I'd be definitely open to having a conversation with anybody who's open to have that conversation. The problem is, so many of you block people before you've even spoken to them because you assume what they think based on the people they follow or their out-of-context opinions on individual subjects. So yeah, if you're willing to talk, fuck it, I'm willing to talk. I don't really care.
What is third-wave feminism?
Speak of the devil, we were just talking about unfairly blocking people for bullshit reasons. And yeah, I'm gonna skip Steve's question because it's stupid, and if he wants my answer so badly, he can unblock me and ask me himself. Fuck you.
Why is it that this feminist represents all feminists, but this men's rights activist doesn't represent all men's rights activists?
Whoa, wait, sexism all of a sudden? Ladies and men are different? So we're supposed to punch men and not hit ladies and open doors for men, but not ladies? Fuck you, get out of my face, you tiny piece of shit.
Okay, first of all, Trigglypuff doesn't represent all feminists. I don't think anybody has ever made that claim. We do point at Trigglypuff and laugh as an example of the most extreme example of one, like, oh, this is the person that actually exists. It's not just some kind of straw man argument. These people actually exist. The people who throw temper tantrums over disagreement. The people who are fucking massively overweight with shitty hair and hipster glasses. She's just a fucking cartoon character. As for that men's rights activist video, again, I don't identify as a men's rights activist, so I could give less of a fuck. That was an embarrassing video, but that's for them to deal with.
Why am I continually asked to answer for the views of feminists if I agree with feminism's overall aims, but don't agree much with those particular feminists? Does that mean that I can ask you to answer for anybody who labels themselves similarly to you?
Well, I've never done that. I don't think it's fair to say that because you're a part of this group, you need to answer for the actions of people also in that group. I don't think that's fair. That's why when I criticize somebody, it's always somebody. And then maybe I criticize the overall movement for what it's become over recent years. I don't say, answer for this.
If SJWs are bad because they spend too much time whining and don't talk about real problems, then why aren't you talking about those problems instead of just whining about the other people over and over and over for literally years? I mean, in the scale of priorities, that's like even lower, right? You know, you've got the real problems, you've got the things that feminists worry about, and then you've got you going, how dare they? Just, how dare they have different priorities from me? Why can't they do what I do? Whine about whining forever, for a living.
It's not that we care that they're not talking about real world problems. It's that they're talking about problems that just don't fucking exist, like the pink tax or the wage gap. Things that just are objectively fucking false. And also, aren't you whining, you cunt?
Why don't you seem as concerned with actual feminist theory in academia as you are with wrecking people for views?
I am concerned about feminism in academia, but the reality is that people like Lacey Green, people like Francesca Ramsey, those are the people that people are listening to. Those are the people that are getting widespread support. It's not some academic feminist bitch writing a paper for some college class that not a lot of people are going to take. It's not those people that matter in the grand scheme of things. It's the people in the fabric of society, the people in the fabric of entertainment that matter.
Since so many of you profess to be admirers of second-wave feminism as opposed to third-wave feminism, I thought it would be interesting to ask which second-wave feminists in particular do you appreciate?
Go away.
You do understand that reading the title of a book or an article or watching the first 15 seconds of a video is not going to give you a deep, nuanced understanding of what that book or article or video is about, right?
Do I understand that reading a fragment of the material that I'm critiquing means I don't understand the full material? Yes. That's why I criticize the entirety of the works that I criticize. What the fuck?
Why is trying and failing to debunk a study into sexual assault the #1 priority for a rational thinker now?
I think you mean trying and succeeding because we've succeeded multiple times. A lot of those sexual assault statistics are false, and if something is false, it's good to point out that something is false, isn't it? Unless you want to be like, oh well, you know, it's not true, right? But you know, we should believe it's true because that will get us pushing further on the right track even more. No, fuck you, go kill yourself. The most effective means of progressing is to have accurate data. Like for example, the 1 in 4 rape statistic. It's not fucking accurate. The real statistic, what is it? I forget what it's like. Let's say it's more than like 1 in 40, right? That's still a lot. That's still a lot of sexual assault. Why does it need to be 1 in 4? When it's fucking false. You have a pretty bad rape statistic as it fucking is. But that's not good enough for you because you need to make it extreme. Fuck you.
One of the major arguments that I see in many of your videos is that it is possible to separate criticism of the religion of Islam from the actual Muslim people. And yet, this line seems to be crossed very often. I see things like raghead or camel fucker or other things like that in your comment sections.
Okay, so she's saying like, oh, you guys claim to be supportive of the idea that you can separate critique of an ideology from the criticism of the people who follow that ideology. But in your comment sections, dude, the reason people leave horrible shit in comment sections is because they know that you people are looking at them and they want to trigger you. That's the whole reason that they do that. It's the whole reason why trolling exists in the first place. You people really need to learn how to internet because I can't teach you. I don't have the time to teach you and I don't have the care to teach you. Figure it out yourselves. Please, for the love of God.
Do you deny that systemic racism against black people is like a thing in general? If so, what? Okay, just step up. Just cover your ears for a second and let the smart people talk.
Okay, he's being really dismissive, so that gives me license to be pretty dismissive back. Go roll down a hill made of broken glass, you piece of shit.
Why is a literal teenager's different definition of racism from you so horrifying that you all have to go, no! No, we have to stop him! We've got to debunk him now! Ah!
Well, it's not horrifying. It's just funny. It's just amusing to watch. It's like, holy shit. I can't believe that this is an actual thing that people think that actually has followers. Like, but you have to understand, people follow Milo. Milo has a fan base. So it was just interesting that such a person had a fan base. I never made a video on Milo, by the way. I figured everybody else did it already. I'll just let everybody else handle it from now on.
Wherever did you get the idea that racism was a...
Do you understand basic English syntax? Like, you know, if I say this cat is pretty, I don't mean that all other cats aren't pretty. Like, do you really not get why saying all lives matter in response to Black Lives Matter is not only racially insensitive, but just patently ridiculous?
I don't care if it's racially insensitive. I don't care if things are insensitive, period. So I don't care.
Isn't it offensive to men to assume that a man could only ever want equality for women and therefore be comfortable with feminism as a whole in order to get laid, and that reduces us to beasts? If that was the case, wouldn't I attempt to get laid from my views instead of not ever trying that?
One thing you'll notice about this reasonable questions for Anti-SJWs video is that all the questions are worded extremely poorly. So I guess what he's saying is it really mean or dumb to say that somebody can only be feminists, a male could only be a feminist if he wants to get laid? Yeah, I mean, again, that's just a pejorative. It's an insult. It's meant to make you feel bad. You understand that, right? It's meant to evoke this reaction from you. Fucking hell.
If you say you're an egalitarian, will you call out the man-hating slurs that you see coming from people within your community? People who use terms like cuck, beta male, faggot, or mangina? All of these things basically distill men down into thinking that the most important thing about them is to be having sex with a woman. That's rather offensive. So what are you doing to stop this kind of behavior in your community?
No, you missed the point of egalitarianism. See, I don't care what people call me, I don't care what people call you, it doesn't faze me at all. I get called a faggot and a manlet on the daily. I don't give a shit. It makes no difference to me. So your idea of egalitarianism seems to be, these words should be off limits for everybody rather than just us. We've never made that case. I feel like we all feel like those words should be used by anybody who wants to fucking use them because, hey, free speech actually matters. Even if that speech is just insults and stupid words like cuck, who cares?
What is the number of followers, the number of likes, the number of dislikes, the number of retweets, the number of subscribers, any of those numbers, any of those metrics, what have they got to do with the argument?
Oh, hey, it's Atlas again. The number of followers and the number of viewers doesn't mean jack shit. I don't, who cares? I've never seen anybody say my opinion matters more than you because of my follower count. I've never seen that happen on Twitter. Nobody I follow has ever done that I've seen. In fact, I don't even think I've seen you guys do that, but that's probably because you guys don't have as many followers as I do. 200,000.
Why is it that you go on and fucking on about safe spaces and trigger warnings and delicate little flowers, but continue to hide behind your cartoon avatars and your childish pseudonyms, and whenever anyone calls you out on your sexist, racist, homophobic, bigoted rhetoric, you become the argument of your own scorn and are hashtag triggered, as they say?
I mean, dude, you can call me racist, sexist, bigoted, and homophobic all you want. I have more followers than you. And in regards to the whole cartoon avatars thing and pseudonym things, the reason I go by Chris Raygun, and the reason TJ goes by the Amazing Atheist, the reason why June goes by Shoe on Head, the reason why Greg goes by Armored Skeptic, the reason why Anthony Fantano goes by the Needle Drop, the reason why Carl goes by Sargon of Akkad, is because this is YouTube, my friend. Believe it or not, having a pseudonym helps a lot. Jontron, Kid Icarus, Smosh, Game Grumps, Eagle Raptor. These people wouldn't gain nearly the amount of traction if they were just called by their actual fucking names. The pseudonym is the brand. I understand that you're not very talented at this whole YouTube thing, what with the fact that all of your channels are kind of dead and dying and pieces of shit as it stands and show no signs of growing in the immediate future at all. Meanwhile, all of our channels are growing rapidly. There's a reason for that, and it's because we know this YouTube game better than you do. And also, by the way, not all of us are hiding behind those avatars. Some of us use them for the brand. There are some people, like Crown T, who are using it as a shield, but that's because if they get outed, they could be killed or arrested for merely disagreeing with people on the internet. Believe it or not, you guys try to get people fired a fucking lot. I actually left a comment on Facebook disagreeing with Black Lives Matter or feminism or something like that, and the person called the job that I had listed on Facebook. Thankfully, I haven't updated my job in like 4 years, but they actually called my fucking place of work and tried to get me fired for my opinion. Some of us use it because you can get us fired from our jobs for wrongthink, some of us use it as a brand, and some of us don't even fucking use it at all, like me, TJ, or Shu. So I don't know, this is such a fucking sad argument.
Are you willing to publicly acknowledge and admonish the massive amount of hatred, bullying, harassment, and intimidation that a lot of your fans infringe upon people?
I don't care, because I don't tell them to do that. I don't have any control over my audience. I don't care. First of all, if they're doxing you, believe me. You can contact me and tell me that I'm being doxed by your fans, and they say it's because of you. I will absolutely come out in full support of you. But if somebody's just being a dick to you in your comment section, get used to it. I get a lot of those. And they probably just get drowned out by all the overwhelming support I get from my 200,000 subscribers. Oh, I'm such a dick.
Why do you find it so hard to believe that feminists are being harassed online?
I don't. Everybody is harassed online. That's my point. Suck it up.
Do you understand the key importance of reproducibility and repeatability in scientific research?
Who the fuck are you?
If you identify as an egalitarian, then I'm interested in your take on the usefulness of the concept of the original position as laid out by John Rawls in his theory of justice.
Hey, look at this book that I can cite. I'm really smart. No, you're not smart. You've read a book. Congratulations. Just because I haven't read every book that you've read doesn't mean... I shouldn't even have to explain this one.
As a supporter, as a proponent of freedom of speech, why do you want to quash academic freedom? If you're not familiar with the concept of academic freedom, it's worth, in the UK at least, looking up the 1988 Education Reform Act and seeing what that says about the rights of academics to put across unpopular opinions.
I would argue that academic freedom means that all ideas are examined thoroughly, and no ideas are censored from the fucking public eye just because they might not be as mainstream. That would be my idea of academic freedom, because it's literally egalitarian. What the fuck?
Why are you so obsessed with Anita Sarkeesian?
I'm not really obsessed with Anita Sarkeesian. I did make a lot of videos about her back in the day, back when she was relevant, but she's not really relevant anymore, at least not to me. I could see why people still talk about her, because she's still putting shit out and she's still making really bad arguments, and she is a money laundering scam artist who is probably the most prominent feminist in tech culture. So the reason people are talking about her a lot is because she's relevant to those spheres, and a lot of us happen to inhabit those spheres, spheres like video games and entertainment and media and stuff like that. So she's relevant to us as a topic of conversation. Whoa, fucking blew your mind. Man, I was really hoping for these to be actually difficult to answer. I was honestly hoping that I would be, like, shaking in my fucking boots.
Do you really think you can spend your entire life...
Yeah, you're asking the question that Sargon did. It's a good joke. Alright. Oh, look at that. They have little credits at the end, like I used to do back in Windows Movie Maker in 2005. That's cute. That's adorable. Look at that, guys. They think they're actually making content. Oh, man. That's so precious. Oh. Anyway, guys, thanks for sticking through this video with me. I know it was probably not the most entertaining video that I've made, but after the whole Pepe thing that took me, like, days to edit, I feel like this was a fun little break. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. 200,000 subscribers. I have them.